Austin, your here's basically a rundown of your harness. It's all being done. So I'll go through basically a rundown. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory how everything fits. But so your throttle by wire, okay, is going to run through. You've got a split off here. This is a connector that we add in. So this is a Toyota connector for the engine temperature for your cluster. Okay, so when you look at your EFI water temp sensor, just underneath it, you'll see that there's a stopper plug. If you need the part number for that sensor, then just let me know. I can send that to you. Okay, but it's a standard water temp sensor for any Toyota or Lexus, basically from from 1995. Probably even earlier than that, but if you need the part number, just let me know. Okay, so EFI water temp sensor, it's got a new connector on there. You have got your VVT actuator, left and right has been replaced. Okay, so running down, you've got all of your injector connectors have been replaced. All of your coil connectors have not been replaced. Okay, because these connectors do not go bad. Okay, so it's nothing for you to worry about, right? Okay, you've got a bridge coming out here, split off, goes to your airflow meter. So you got your 5-pin connector over there. Okay, the bridge carries on running, and it runs down, and it plugs into, it splits off. So you got another wire section. The one goes into the back of your alternator. Okay, so that's the 3-pin alternator connector. Not going to clip it in because we're not going to test alternators and stuff. And then coming down here, you've got the 4-pin connector going to your right-hand bank O2 sensor. Okay. That's basically all of that. And then you've got just underneath this engine cover clamp, you've got a 2-pin connector. This is for your variable intake length, okay, for the actuator for that. So there's the 2-pin connector that'll join onto that. And it runs to the back and goes underneath your intake manifold. When you start the motor, what's going to happen is this lever will pull down like that. Okay, and then when you rev her up, I think it's at 3,000 or whatever, then it'll change to its normal position, which will then change the length of your intake chambers. Okay, this is just a filter, so for the injectors and for the coils, that just removes noise for an audio system. Really, that's its only purpose. Okay. Over here now, coming out the back here, you've got an earth strap. Okay, you've got one on this side and you've got one on this side over here. Just make sure that those are properly earthed. If you have painted cylinder heads and stuff, just make sure that you have removed the paint, because these are the main earths that supply the whole system. Okay, then you've got a 3-pin connector over here that goes down to your starter motor and to your knock sensors. Okay, so that's basically just plug in. You're going to have no problem with that. Okay, this side, very much the same as the other side. Injector connectors have been replaced. Your cam position sensors have also been replaced. So you've got 3 of them. You've got basically one in the front here, which is pre-VVT. So in other words, your actual cam pulley position. Okay, and then these are so that the ECU knows, what degree it has been, it has been changed to. Okay. This is for evap. So this, some guys connect it, some guys don't. It's like a purge valve, right? So it basically pulls the fumes out of the fuel tank. So it's all about emission. If you don't use it, then just tuck the connector away. It's not going to come out with an error code. Okay. If you do use it, it's still functional. Okay. So you just plug it in, and then that obviously goes through charcoal canister and then goes through to your fuel tank. Okay. Running down here is going to be, the left-hand side VVT actuator. Okay, you've got your throttle position sensor over there. Runs down. You've got your pre-VVT connector over there for your cam. Okay, cam sensor. Comes down. You've got a 3-pin connector over here. So on this, you've got three wires in there. The two you don't have to worry about. It's only the one at the bottom here. So you'll see there's 2 on top and then 1 at the bottom. The one at the bottom is for your aircon compressor, okay, for the clutch, okay. That is in your client plug, okay, so we'll get to that. Now here, so this branches into three. You've got the one that goes down to your aircon compressor. You've got one that goes down and it wraps around and it goes to your oil pressure switch over there. Okay. And then you've got another one. And what it'll do is it'll go behind the aircon pump. You'll see this cavity over here. Okay. It goes through there and it comes out underneath here, and it keeps it away from the serpentine belt. Okay, some guys run it like that, other guys, you know, they'll cable tie it and whatever. Just whatever you do there, just make sure this is the proper way to run it. So I would do it like that. Just make sure that it doesn't get tied up, or you know, anywhere near the actual belt. Okay, coming down here, this is your main harness now coming out, right? So now you got a Y section. Okay, this one will go through to your fuse box. I've just linked it in here so it's not hanging around. Inside your fuse box, you have all of your relays and your fuses. Just put that down. So you got EFI and main relay. These are your fuel control relays. Okay, and then you've got your start relay, and then you've got all of your fuses. All of the descriptions here are underneath the fuse box lid. So that is all over there, okay? But if you've got any questions there, you just give me a shout. But yeah, it's all pretty self-explanatory. You have an LED light in the fuse box over there, okay? And that is your engine light that's also given to you in your client plug. Okay, so this being 4.3, it's flashable, so you should have no codes. I would connect that to your cluster so that if there is a error, let's say with an airflow meter or O2 sensor, you know, your primary O2 sensors, those are all required sensors, you know, so it'll come out, it'll switch on, and then you can do a OBD2 scan and it'll tell you, you know, what is wrong. This is a standard connector that we put into all of the fuse boxes. It is a default earth. So you can use that to test any of the fuses if you ever have a problem. Okay, but yeah, so that's that. Okay, so we carry on going down. You have a main. This is a 8-gauge cable. This goes directly to your battery positive. This is the main power supply for the system. Okay, and then you've obviously got your ECU connectors, and you've got your client plug. You've got, so let's just get this right here. So these are the 5 connectors that'll plug into your ECU. I'll plug that in a moment and then show you it's uniform. It'll be nice and neat. Okay, then you've got these three connectors over here. This is your main connector that you are going to connect to the vehicle. Okay, so you've got your fuel, your ignition, you've got your start. So we start from that side, looking at this side of this connector. You've got your ignition, you've got your start signal, you've got your fuel pump power supply. Okay, so that's that thick red one. You've got your rev counter, you've got your temperature gauge. And then looking on the other side, you've got your oil light, you've got your charge light, you've got your engine light. Okay, and then you've got the black with a white stripe, which is your aircon compressor clutch. All of that will be in your folder. Okay, so we'll send you a link there. All of those descriptions will be there, and if you've got any questions on how to connect that, then you just give me a shout and I'll upload all of that stuff for you. Okay, these 2 connectors, nothing really to worry about. This one's for your accelerator pedal, so that's a 6-pin connector. This is a 4-pin connector that is used for your OBD2 diagnostics. So we supply you basically this harness, which will plug into the engine harness on those 2 connectors, and then this can run internally into the vehicle. And then you've got the plug going to your OBD2 diagnostics, and you've got a 6-pin connector that will plug into your accelerator pedal. So you don't have anything to worry about as far as what those 2 go. It's only that 10-pin connector. This is the pigtail that you'll be connecting to the vehicle. Okay, so yeah, it's as simple as that. This is the original ECU that we did for you. Nothing wrong with it. It runs. I've already tested this. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll I'll quickly connect, plug in the ECU, put on the airbox, plug in the airflow meter, and then I will give her a run. And yeah, we go from there. Okay, Houston. So I put on the airbox, plugged in the airflow meter. Okay, and the one thing here, you probably know about this, but this tube that goes to the right hand valve bank cover. That's part of the ventilation system for the engine block. This tube, a lot of guys put on a filter on there. That's the wrong way to do it. This tube needs to be connected between your throttle body and your airflow meter. So just make sure that the air being pulled through that, okay, it's got to be calculated, because at the end of the day, it's going to go into your intake chamber. Okay, so just make sure. A lot of guys use an aftermarket tube, so you're going to have a nipple on there. Just make sure that is connected to this tube. Okay, and then on the other side is going to run through this valve over here on your. It's just underneath there. It's a bit difficult to see, but you'll be able to see on your motor anyway. I haven't actually got it connected on here. This is just a start stand motor, so we don't run it for huge amounts of time. But you'll see it's a little purple valve. Okay, so that needs to be connected to this tube over here. Okay, so in the end, it ends up going into your intake manifold. Just make sure that whole circuitry there is right and complete. What I've done here now is I've plugged in your 4-pin and your 6-pin. Okay, and I've plugged in our accelerator pedal. Okay, and I've plugged in our Bluetooth diagnostics. Okay, just so that we can run scans and whatnot and make sure that is correct. And then this is just our plug that we use for our start stand. Okay, so that is the one that you will be connecting to your vehicle. Okay, I haven't changed anything on the ECU. It was unnecessary to do so. You are not picking up any codes, but yeah, we'll run her, and I'll leave that like that for now. And then yeah, let's give her a start. I don't think there's any fuel pressure in here, so she might crank until she brings up some fuel pressure before she starts, but let's see. Just try and build up the fuel pressure. So it'll only start pumping when it gets the crank signal. Okay, so obviously fuel pressure is built up now. So ignition. You can see over here your engine light is on in the fuse box. Okay. That's a bit of a delay. Let's see what's going on. Okay. Seems like my bit of a delay there. I'm probably going to have to reboot that. There's a problem on my start stand. Let me just reboot my start stand. There seems to be all kinds of delays going on. Okay, so you can see engine light is off. Okay, so pretty important to show you that. So what that is basically these are intelligent ECUs. The main power was pulled off. Okay, so it lost its memory. What needs to happen now is I'm going to start her up probably 3 or 4 times, and then you'll see she'll run flawlessly. Every time you switch it off and restart, it learns, and then yeah, it goes from there. So yeah, you're gonna have, it's a once-off thing once you put it all together. Okay, so let's do this. so you see the difference there. That's basically just the ECU learning, and then then it's rock and roll from there. When it loses its memory, it's got to relearn. It's got to relearn all its parameters. Okay, and like I say, it's just you start her up four times, 5 times, and then then everything's good. Can't run her much longer than that because obviously I don't have a water system connected on this motor. But what I will do is I'll start her up again. What I'll do is I just want to switch on the diagnostic scanner. It takes a bit of time to start up and stuff, and then we'll do a scan for codes. But yeah, all good. I'll quickly do that. Let me just show you here. Switch on the ignition. We're going to go Asian. It's going to be Lexus. Okay. Okay, no, I don't want to. Come on. It's 16, but I don't know what your scanner is like. They're all different, so. So yeah, just picking it up. Okay, it doesn't really matter without, so LS430 is basically what I've programmed it to in 2001. Doesn't really matter. It's all cool. And we're only interested in that. Let's enter into engine and transmission. Okay, and we're going to read fault codes. Okay, so you've got no DTCs. Let me quickly start her. We'll do this again. I mean, it's basically picking up all your live data there. Okay, I don't want to run it too long, so I'm going to switch her off. But yeah, it's all good. If you've got any questions, let me know. Any problems anywhere, you just let me know. Okay, we are there to help you. Okay.